Hello everyone. Welcome back once again in your biology class. This is Nausin and you are watching Educational Support. If you like this video, then share it with your friends, and if you want more videos, then subscribe this channel. Today, we are going to learn about emphysema. In this lesson, emphysema and its definition, causes, symptoms, diagnosis, and treatment are explained in an easy and detailed manner. So be with me till the end and let's get going. So, what is emphysema? Emphysema is a type of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It is a progressive disease of lungs, a condition in our body in which the air sacs of the lungs called alveolus are damaged and enlarged, causing breathlessness. So, the air sacs in the lungs become damaged and stressed, resulting in a chronic cough and difficulty in breathing. So now we are going to focus on brief overview of the lungs. So the lungs are sponge-like structures that lies within the chest, protected by the rib cage. In this air sac, inhaled oxygen is transferred to the bloodstream and carbon dioxide is transferred from the blood into the exhaled breath. So next, we are going to focus on what is pathophysiology of emphysema in chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, COPD. So, emphysema is a pathologic diagnosis defined by permanent enlargement of air spaces distal to the terminal bronchioles. So, this leads to a dramatic decline in the alveolar surface area available for gas exchange, and furthermore, loss of alveoli leads to airflow limitation by two mechanisms. Number one is loss of the alveolar walls results in a decrease in elastic recoil, which leads to airflow limitation, and number two is loss of alveolar supporting structure leads to airway narrowing, which further limits airflow. So, without their support, the breathing tubes collapse, causing obstruction to the flow of air. So, this picture of normal lungs and smoker lungs. So, normal lungs tissue resembles a sponge that lies within the chest, protected by the rib cage. However, the lungs of people with emphysema look like an old used sponge with large holes in them, which makes it difficult for people to inhale fresh air and not only struggle to breathe but have trouble receiving enough oxygen. So next, I am presenting what causes emphysema or what are the causes of emphysema. The causes of emphysema is usually long-term exposure to irritants that damage your lungs and the airways. In United States, cigarette smoking is the main cause. Pipe, cigar, and other types of tobacco smoke can also cause emphysema. Especially if you inhale them, exposure to the irritant can contribute to emphysema. So this includes secondhand smoke, air pollution, chemical fumes, and dust from the environment or workplace. So, in rare case, a genetic condition called alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency can play a role in causing emphysema. So, some people have a deficiency of a protein alpha-1 antitrypsin, and this is a genetic factor that can lead to a rare form of emphysema. Here I am presenting what are the symptoms of emphysema. At first, you may have no symptoms or only mild symptoms. As the disease gets old, your symptoms usually become more severe. They can include frequent coughing, a cough that produces lot mucus, a whistling sound when you breathe, tightness in your chest, difficulty in concentration, fatigue, and shortness of breath, that is dyspnea, and difficulty in sleeping. So some people with emphysema get frequent respiratory infections such as cold and the flu. In severe cases, emphysema can cause weight loss, weakness in your lower muscles, and swelling in your ankles, feet, or legs. Next is, what are the types of emphysema? So, emphysema is a serious lifelong lung disease that leaves you short of breath. So, it has four main principles: classification and classified according to the site of damage. They are called pan-acinar, centriacinar emphysema, paraseptal emphysema, and irregular emphysema. So first is centriacinar emphysema. Centriacinar emphysema or centrilobular emphysema is a long-term progressive lung disease. It is considered to be a form of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So, centrilobular emphysema primarily affects the upper lobes of the lung. It's characterized by damage to your respiratory passageways and known as bronchioles, and this passageways allows airflow from mouth and your nose to your lungs. So the damage typically begins in the center of your lungs and gradually spread outward. The condition typically affects people who smoke or used to smoke cigarettes, people who have had cold workers, pneumoconiosis are also at risk. So what are the symptoms of centrilobular emphysema? The symptoms of centrilobular emphysema include tightness in the chest, shortness of breath, chronic cough, fatigue, etc. Number 2 is pan-acinar emphysema. So pan-acinar emphysema is a morphological descriptive type of emphysema, that is, depicted by permanent destruction of the entire acinus distal to the respiratory bronchioles with no obvious associated fibrosis. So involves entire respiratory acinus from respiratory bronchioles to alveoli is expanded. Occurs more commonly in the lower lobe, especially basal segments and anterior margins of the lung. So it is 120 as common as centrilobular emphysema. So it is the trypsin in alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. So next is paraseptal emphysema. So it is also called distal acinus. So the distal respiratory acinus, including alveolar duct and alveoli, is expanded. Extensive involvement of the lung is rare. Some cases of spontaneous pneumothorax may be due to this type of emphysema and occurs primarily adjacent to the pleural and connective tissue septa, especially in the upper lobe. So last is irregular emphysema. Irregular emphysema in distal acinus, alveoli, alveolar duct and sacs are particularly involved, and spontaneous pneumothorax of young adults is associated with this form of emphysema. So scarring is usually associated with irregular involvement of the acinus and is usually asymptomatic. So irregular emphysema is associated with scarring and no particular relationship to the acinus. Next, I am presenting who is at risk for emphysema. So the risk factors for emphysema include smoking. This is the main risk factor. Up to 75% of people who have emphysema smoke or used to smoke. Long-term exposure to other irritants such as secondhand smoke, air pollution, chemical fumes, and dust from the environment or workplaces. Age: most of the people who have emphysema at least 40 years old when their symptoms begin. Genetics. So genetics includes alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency is a genetic condition, and also smokers who get emphysema are more likely to get it if they have a family history of COPD. So, what are the treatments for emphysema, or how does emphysema improve lung function? So there is no cure for emphysema. However, treatments can help with symptoms and slow the progress of the disease and improve your ability to stay active. There are also treatments to prevent or treat complications of the disease. And treatments include lifestyle changes, such as quitting smoking if you are a smoker. This is the most important step you can take to treat emphysema. Avoiding secondhand smoke and places where you might breathe in other lung irritants. And ask your health care provider for an eating plan that will meet your nutritional needs, and also ask about how much physical activity you can do. Physical activity can strengthen the muscles that help you breathe and improve your overall wellness. Next is oxygen therapy. So oxygen therapy, if you have severe emphysema and low levels of oxygen in your blood, then oxygen therapy can help you better breathe. So you may need extra oxygen all the time and only at the certain time. Next is pulmonary rehabilitation. It has improved the well-being of people who have chronic breathing problems. So it may include disease management training, nutritional counseling, psychological counseling, etc. So next I am presenting exercise. Does exercise help emphysema? Both breathing exercise and regular cardiovascular exercise like walking, running are critical to curbing symptoms and having a good emphysema prognosis. So get started by doing this exercise in a program led by a trained professional before you branch out on your own. So next is surgery. Surgery usually acts as a last resort for people who have severe symptoms that have not gotten better with medicines. There are surgeries to removal damaged lung tissues, removal ear space that can form when ear sacs are destroyed, and do a lung transplant. This might be an optional if you have very severe emphysema. If you have emphysema, it's important to know when and where to get help for your symptoms. You should get emergency care if you have severe symptoms, such as trouble catching your breath and talking. So next is vitamins. So what vitamins are good for emphysema, or what vitamins help repair lungs? So research have identified the following vitamins for COPD treatment and support are: vitamin D may help the lungs function better. Vitamin C, researchers have linked low levels of vitamin C to increase in shortness of breath, mucus and wheezing. Vitamin E and vitamin A. So, can emphysema be prevented? Yes. Since smoking causes most cases of emphysema, the best way to prevent is to not smoke. It is also important to try to avoid lung irritants such as second-hand smoke, air pollution, chemical fumes, and dust. So, how fast does emphysema progress? The disease usually progresses slowly. Changes in breathing may hardly notice, and a typical person will not experience symptoms until they have smoked a package of cigarettes per day for more than 20 years. However, over time, almost all people with emphysema will develop shortness of breathing. Next, I am presenting, does emphysema show up on X-ray? Doctors can use various medical imaging techniques such as chest X-ray, CT scan of chest. If you have advanced emphysema, your lungs will appear to be much larger than they should be. In early stages of the disease, your chest X-ray may look normal, but in later stages, a chest X-ray of someone with emphysema may show abnormally large lungs. So, your doctor cannot diagnose emphysema with an X-ray alone. A CT scan of your chest will show if the air sacs in alveoli, if in your lungs have been destroyed, and a CT scan of someone with emphysema may show some small pockets of air throughout the lung. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. So keep watching and keep learning. In the comment section, you can tell us how satisfied are you with the answer, and then please put down a comment under this video, because this will help me to prove better. So subscribe this video, like and share it with your friends, and also press a bell icon right next to it. Happy watching, and to know more about the biology topics, then keep visiting Educational Support. Thank you.